Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Darksiders 3 with Chaos Counseling.
Well, I avoid these.
We got tropes off our chests, and here we go.
Dinosaur!
Oh, dinosaur.
I can't take that dinosaur seriously anymore.
Because of what I said?
Yes. I'm gonna name that dinosaur place now.
Sunshine.
Yeah.
Sorry. I literally wasted like an hour on this, and I don't want to do it here. Go back up the steps. You use that to swing on top of the dinosaur.
Okay.
Sorry. I know it's backseat gaming, but I don't want to repeat that.
I, literally, even though, the three of us, excluding Luke, sorry, Luke,
No, back.
Are,
like on the stairs.
Oh, there's the chain.
Since we're all, the same age, I don't know why my brain was like, he's calling you old. I'm like, we're literally, about the same age.
Calm your tits.
But my brain was like, no, he's calling you a dinosaur for comic relief, dang it, Kendall. So, again.
I'm just gonna name this dinosaur Kendall nonetheless.
Okay.
Kendallsaurus. I also think this dinosaur is not accurate to how big T-Rexes are supposed to be.
I was gonna say.
I'm gonna call it, this dinosaur is gonna come to life and be a boss.
I'm gonna second that.
Anyway, sorry, continue.
No, the only comment I was gonna make is actually in the second Sly Cooper game, you walk on top of a dinosaur, and I was like, you had way more legroom than you do here, and you were a wreck. You were an anthropomorphic raccoon.
Maybe Fury's just bigger than we thought she was.
Maybe.
Like she's taller.
Don't you think?
A
Don't
giant
you mean
woman?
smaller? Because the only way the T-Rex could be this big is if Fury was actually really short.
Well, I meant just why the spine is
balls.
harder to walk on and you have less room than...
Yeah.
Well, if it was actual size, she would have to do some Assassin's Creed type walking to walk on its spine.
Okay. I guess I'm just used to the cartoony bits where they make the spine huge freaking muggish.
I love that.
I mean, don't get me wrong, the T-Rex's spine is pretty big by human standards, but it's still not going to be the size of a, sidewalk or anything like that.
I'm gonna be real. I know a lot of people that love dinosaurs. I have no clue about dinosaurs.
Yeah, they're treasure.
Oh, hey.
I wish I
actually-
knew more about dinosaurs so I can engage in those conversations.
My mom
Same.
told me I called my first grade teacher out as not knowing anything about dinosaurs, telling her that let's see, if I was in first grade, you would have been, I think, at most 2 or 3 years old.
Happy baby!
And I said, it's like, my baby brother knows more about dinosaurs than you.
I know, Sunshine, you love dinosaurs, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't remember, this is something I was thinking about the other day, because my favorite color was red, favorite color was blue, and Sunshine's was pink at the time. I don't remember if our favorite colors were because those colors were associated with our favorite dinosaurs and Power Rangers, or if those were our favorite dinosaurs because they were associated with our favorite colors. I don't remember. It was one of the two things.
I'd say it would probably be Danos.
I also
Because
remember...
that hasn't changed for Sunshine.
And I don't remember if it's me... Well, his favorite color is yellow now.
Yeah, but the dinosaur hasn't changed.
That's fair. Although, to be fair, in Dino Charge, which was actually a very good season,
Oh, hi.
the pterodactyl was yellow. And in Dino Charge, too. Actually, the original was the only one where the pterodactyl was
Sunshine,
pink.
what have you done over in Japan recently?
But, shoot, what was I saying? The dinosaur...
Colors.
I don't remember if it was me or Sunshine, but I'm pretty sure it was me. I knew the colors by their Power Ranger names, not by the colors. Now, one thing, I do know this one was me, but I kept calling my Sunday school teacher Jason because she always wore a red dress to church.
Oh. Well, something similar happened to me with dinosaurs is that I would call dinosaurs based on the names they had in the Land Before Time. I would see the
Brontosaurus?
brontosaur.
Littlefoot!
I would be like, I would be like, it's a long neck.
Yeah.
Oh, that was it.
Yeah.
Well, to be perfectly frank...
I still call them
When
that.
I was about to say, when I saw the long neck. Wait.
That's not his name!
I am 24 years old. I should know the official name.
Bitch, I still call them long necks.
Honey, your favorite dinosaur is the Brachiosaurus.
It's a long neck. Fight me.
Wait, is it okay? Okay, is the long neck a Brachiosaurus? Or?
Well, a Brachiosaurus is of the sauropods, which are the long-necked dinosaurs.
There's several.
Okay.
There's Brachiosaurus.
Okay.
I think those are
It begins.
atypically one of the larger ones. I think next size up is Supersaurus.
Oh my god.
There's a long neck named Supersaurus.
I have told you this no less than 10 times, honey!
Wait, there's this. And this is the part of me that my husband despises.
This knowledge makes me so happy.
There's Diplodocus. I'm trying to... No, Brontosaurus is not a real dinosaur. It's actually called an Apatosaurus.
Okay.
I do remember, like, in one of the videos I saw as a kid, they talked about a dinosaur called Ultrasaurus, but I don't know if that's a real dinosaur, or they found, like, a part of a skull, and they assumed it was a new dinosaur, but they just couldn't prove if it was an actual new dinosaur, or just a really large version of another species that had been warped through centuries and such.
Backtracking a bit, a Diplosaurus?
Diplodocus.
Diplodocus, is that good at diplomacy?
It's the most diplomatic of all the dinosaurs.
This is my life. I have to babysit these people.
This is why I never got into
You married me.
This is why I've never been good at dinosaurs, because all of the dinosaur friends would hear me being like, is a Diplosaurus good at diplomacy? And they'd be like, I don't even want to talk to you anymore.
This might be a bad time to tell you, my favorite dinosaur is called Pachycephalosaurus.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm trying to figure out what the pun would be from that Packy.
Then after that, my
It's
next
good at
favorite
packing for camping.
And after that, my favorite dinosaur is the Baryonyx, followed by the
It got buried.
followed by the Deinonychus.
Dinosaur.
That is basically just dinosaur.
I really want to know what all these look like
Did you
eventually.
so the Velociraptors in
I know that
Jurassic
one.
Park, they are mostly based on the Deinonychus, because Velociraptors really weren't very big.
I just realized how I know Velociraptor.
However,
How do you know?
after the book was published, and I think after the first movie came out, a new breed of raptors was actually discovered here in Utah called the Utah
Raptor.
Raptor.
Yeah.
And they are
Utah rapper?
they are the correct size of what the Velociraptors were in the movie. So
I realized the only way I knew Velociraptor was because it was I called that some of the dinosaurs in Star Fox Adventures. I was like, at the freaking Velociraptors. And like when you have to face your fears segment,
Oh.
when all those, I don't know how far you guys got in that
I have
game.
not
I
even
beat
played.
Star Fox Assault,
you-
but I
wait.
can only beat it on easy mode.
Star Fox Adventures.
Oh, Adventures, never mind. Yes, I've beaten Star Fox Adventures at least 3 times.
Okay, same. When you're facing your fears and you have to do that thing where you have to keep your sanity in between the bar or something. There's like Velociraptors that jump out at you, or they're probably not Velociraptors. I called it Velociraptor.
I don't remember what they look like, so I can neither confirm nor deny.
Well, when we get to that, because I think that's in our schedule somewhere. Star
Honestly,
Fox Apertures.
other than the fact that it's a bad Star Fox game, like as a Star Fox game,
As a Star Fox game.
I actually really like that game.
I did too, actually. Like,
And it's like-
I picked it up I say recently. To me, recently is like
10 years.
in a year or something, maybe a year or two. But my memory and time is mixed up, and I don't know how things space out. But anyway, I picked it up recently, and I was like moving around as Fox, and I was like, this controls really well, actually, better than some of the games I've played. Like,
I mean, it was made
Yeah.
by Rare, wasn't
Yeah.
it?
It was.
Yeah, then fuck
'Cause-
yeah.
I loved Star Fox Adventures, and I loved... Okay, I can't say... Okay, no. I loved Godzilla 1998 as a kid, and I still like it as an adult. But recently, when I actually got involved on the internet, I'm like, wait, people hate Star Fox Adventures? People think Godzilla 1999 is an abomination? And then I actually kind of listened to their arguments. I'm like, oh, Godzilla 1998 is a really bad Godzilla movie because he looks nothing like Godzilla. He runs away from being attacked, and he's killed by missiles. So a lot of people, like, they call that monster Zilla because they took the god out of Godzilla. I'm like, oh, now I understand why it's a bad Godzilla movie. But since I grew up watching, you know, like some of the King Kong movies and other monster movies, I didn't quite figure out what was wrong with it per se. But now that I'm an adult and I actually understand, living up to the spirit of something, I'm like, I understand the hate, even if I don't fully agree with it.
I will say, I do like Star Fox Adventures.
Yeah.
There's some, and I haven't beaten it as an adult, so take it with a grain of salt. There's some moments that were really hard.
Yeah.
Actually, like that Face the Fear thing, I remember.
Yeah, I didn't...
I spent forever on that.
I didn't like most of the Krazoa spirit things. I thought they were hard on a mechanical level.
The
only major complaint, like, again, putting aside it being a bad Star Fox game, the only issue I have with it, because it didn't originally start as one, is just how pointless General Scales ends up kind of being because they have to switch it over to a Star Fox villain at the end.
Yeah, I feel that.
I mean, don't get me wrong, it's not enough to ruin the game for me like it is for some people, but I just am like, that's the one big glaring thing for me about it not originally supposed to be a Star Fox game that really stands out to me. Ooh.
This is interesting.
Hello. Oh, perfect. We gotta end the conversation on time.
Much that the humans got right, but they did know art.
What?
Frankly, I think it's one of the reasons that the angels were so jealous of them. Have you ever seen one of those birds paint?
You're talking about art. Now. Here.
It's a museum. Well, certainly, we have our mission. I'm just saying.
Ooh, where'd you get a tub? Which shitty art piece was that from?
Have no appreciation for the finer things in life. Avarice. Fury. Welcome to my Hall of Treasure. Unfortunately, you forgot to pay the entrance fee. Your life.
Take it if you dare, wretch!
I really like this character's design and just this boss fight in general.
Am I the only one who thinks his face looks like the Joker's?
I was thinking that.
I think that's the point.
Perfect.
I mean, keep in mind, they had Mark Hamill in the first game, so...
Missed opportunity to not have him voice again.
Well, he might not have been willing or available.
Boo.
Or they might not have had the budget for him, just saying.
Fair. That's a good point right there. Very good.
I love...
Because, yeah, I mean, the Watcher's voice in the first game was specifically inspired by the Joker. Like, it's the whole reason they asked him to do it, is they wanted him to do his Joker voice for the character.
So I'm going to sound like a complete twat, but avarice is greed, right?
Yes.
Okay.
To be fair...
I'm glad I wasn't alone!
Actually, to your defense, honey, this is something I did look up, and even some people are kind of like... One of the reviews is like, it's probably pointless to complain about them changing greed's name to avarice when considering they mean the same thing after they've already changed conquest and famine to fury and strife. But like, it is kind of odd that he's the only sin that got a name change in the whole game.
Legit, when I saw him, I was like, oh, it's greed, and then she was like, avarice, and I was like, crap.
I mean, you're right.
I was like, legit, oh no.
I think it's just because avarice sounds fancier, to be perfectly honest.
Probably. I also love that he just throws this tub around like...
I know!
Why is there a tub in a goddamn museum?
I love it. Well,
no.
I was gonna say, if a urinal could be signed and be considered art.
Well,
that's fair.
The thing is, if you look at those, like, pillars, it's mostly junk because he's creating his own artwork from just everything he can find.
Fair.
All right, buddy, you want some constructive criticism, or do you just want...
Do you want some constructive criticism, or do you want me to just pretend this is the best art on the board?
Here's how constructive criticism works. If you do not understand, you have to say something you like about it, and then something they can improve on. That is constructive criticism.
I always learned it's good, bad, good. You have to sandwich it with the Oreo.
That works too, actually.
Oh, one other thing that I do want to point out, because this is something that becomes prevalent with every boss fight up to this point.
Is that a
fridge? I think that's a fridge.
This is something that comes prevalent with every sin from this point onward. All of them do something in contrast with what sin they represent as you fight them from this point onward.
Oh.
Oh, he's like destroying his shit.
Exactly. He's destroying the collection that he's so carefully built, just trying to kill you.
Okay, what did Envy do?
I said from this point onward.
Oh, okay.
Now, I think the thing with Envy is that
You're doing real good, by the way.
you use like
Thanks.
her own ability against her or something.
I guess I could.
Because
That
it's
makes
like
sense.
her talisman you're using to collect all the other sins. I think. I'm saying the words I think. Again, they kind of say... Yeah, I mean, again, it is kind of from this point onward, like I said.
Let's
Enjoy
go.
your collection, Avarice.
Eat hell.
Final time!
There are hands and human bodies in there.
Yep.
Lovely.
I mean, people.
Know what that art is like.
One sinner's life.
Also, you're not a human with human currency. Why do you care about the dwarf?
She's got a taste for the finer things, I suppose.
Who needs a museum when you can carry a collection in this?
Oh, Philistine.
Ooh!
Oh,
What? Hello?
Oh. Right.
Okay. Thanks.
Oh, this is one of my favorite parts of the game. Well, specifically because it's power-up time!
Oh, yay!
I'm just gonna throw this out here. Fury has the best power-ups in all 3 games. And how they incorporate... Yes?
Oh, I'm just touching.
And how they incorporate them into the puzzle solving, it's great. I love it.
I told you to leave. What are you doing?
Welcome again.
Oh.
It's not like I had a choice in the matter. Do you kidnap all your guests?
Yep.
You would not be so disrespectful if you knew the true power I give you. Your battle with Avarice proved you value your mission above material possessions. You are ready for stronger tools of destruction.
Another toy for me to play with. You're far too generous.
The Storm Hollow. Use it wisely.
So,
We get a lightning
Why
strike a
not give me
bitch.
all your gifts and get it over with. If you're so keen to arm one of the horsemen.
Be gone.
So,
Why can't you just give me everything? Fuck you.
so every hollow gives you a new weapon. This one's my favorite of all the weapons. Let's also one other thing I do, even though Death is still my favorite of the 3 playable characters because of his books, Fury is probably the best character of the 3.
Oh, it's like a
Just-
spear. These short. No,
there
it's
was actually no, it's a spear.
Oh, I love that.
It makes sure you grab all the loot in here, and that's an episode if I'm not mistaken.
it is.
So yeah, that
Really?
was a great way to go out.
So we'll gather all the shit and then we'll see you guys next time.
Next time.